about one of the parties at the University of Iowa. I work with the United States International Council on Disability as the program manager for the Global Disability Rights Collaboration Project. Before I go on, I just want to make sure if people have any problems understanding my speech, please feel free to raise your hand, say something wrong at the interpreter can voice over from me.
Just
And the let's talk about the technology of how the Global Disability Rights Library project, how the CDOL will work when we begin to deploy it in the field. Of course, the real heart of this project is the information and knowledge that we need to disseminate through the CDOL. The most important part for the project is to disseminate knowledge that disability advocates, policymakers, and organizations can use to improve the lives of people with disabilities in developing countries. So what kind of, what did I do? Okay. So what we need to know is what kind of knowledge we're doing that. How do we know we're getting the right kind of information into the library that people can actually use in their country? The GDRL can believe in our old model of disability advocates globally, nothing about us without us. We try to listen as closely as possible to people who hope will benefit from the library. We'll be doing a lot of this through our international advisory board. Now we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, yeah. This is where we're on the one slide. We'll come back to that in a minute. But first I want to talk about some of the other strategies of the country about this matter. Use a range of different strategies to gather feedback from the field. Some of what we draw upon is our own prior experience in this field. For example, I have had contact with many people with disabilities from developing countries around the world for many years since before I joined the GDRL team. And that's given me a lot of opportunity to hear from the people who are actually doing this work out there in the field, what kind of knowledge they're looking for when they do their work. So I hear these stories over and over. I need to know how I want to build a store. How do I do that? How do I find the teachers? How do I find the funding resources for this? How do I work the grant proposal? How do I know where to find funding support for my project? How do I learn about HWA among people with disabilities? How do I find a training manual to go out there and teach people with disabilities about AIDS? So I hear these stories. I was doing these stories for many years before I joined the GDRL. And I draw upon a lot of those stories in my work now in the GDRL. And in addition to that, I also have had some opportunity to talk to people who we hope will be using the Global Disability Rights Library out during this field. So for example, on Wednesday, I had a good conversation with a man from Uganda who works with disability advocacy organization there, and he was telling me about all the things that he wants to do with the library. He wants to deploy the library. And he was telling me what we need information about accessibility, how do we build accessible transportation, how do we make buildings accessible. We need the four topics mentioned at the rights of persons with disabilities. We need the first half of the American with Disability Act. We need information that people with disabilities use. We learn how to use acceptable, to use some technology, how to use computers, how to use objective technology, and to some of the people that some of the information that we're going to share on here today, the kind of gap, the kind of information that I think this person from the end of the one. And then the August, I will be traveling to participate in a leadership training program for women with disabilities from developing countries around the world. This is a program funded by Mobility International USA. This program is called the Women's Institute of Leadership and Disability. There will be 45 women from different developing countries around the world. Some of them I'm hoping will be using the video after we launch it. And I will be asking them about what kind of information they need to improve the lives and duties of women with disabilities in your country. These are some of the informal mechanisms we have for gathering feedback. We also have a more formal effort, which is our international advisory board. This advisory board, we have 10 members, 24 members from 10 different countries. We also have 9 official members who are drawn from the US ICD Board of Directors and also from the University of Iowa faculty. And all of them have expertise also, but we do participate and listen to the voices of people with disabilities from developing countries. A majority of both the members and the official members are people with disabilities, plus one mother, a child with a disability. For the R&B members, a majority of them developing countries. Some of them have grown up in poverty or limited education opportunities, or other challenges that are common with developing countries. And all of the members and the official members have a strong network of contact among grassroots disability organizations in developing countries. We have 6 men and 4 women, 3 people from Uganda, 3 people from Africa, 1 from Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, 3 people from Latin America, Guatemala, Peru, and Brazil, 3 people from Asia, Pakistan, India, and Japan, 1 person from Europe, Ireland, and they all have a range of experience in different areas: gender, children, women, legally, poverty, and living. And when we gather feedback from the R&B members, we'll be asking them to draw upon not only their own knowledge of the field, but also the network of contacts that are out there in the developing countries. Get information from them about how we could build the best possible library for people with disabilities in developing countries. And of course, I hope that all of you will be helping us with the library. A lot of you have knowledge, skills with the library. Many of you have excellent websites that we would like to have in the library. Some of you have made publications of great details. We spoke earlier today, I really want whole publications in the library. Anything to share with the library. We have information to share, or we have questions or comments or feedback. If there's anything we can't cover during the Q&A, then please send us an email. And I would be the PowerPoint program, ABTCRA, USICD, or that's my email address.